Hi, let's start the chapter. We'll talk about the chapter one. The book is Business Communications, Process, and Product. Chapter one is talking about the business communication in the digital age, which is our age now. Now, in this chapter, we'll talk about the first part of the employability skills is the fundamental skills: communicate, manage information, think, and solve problems. The personal management skills, which is to demonstrate positive attitude and behavior, be responsible, be adaptable, and learn continuously. And then we'll talk about the team skills. It's just introduction because it's the first chapter. How we work with others, participate in a project, how we're going to participate in a project and task also. In the business communication in the digital age, there is issues that we need to take into consideration. For example, the communication skills for a career success. We need that for the career success. The importance of the critical thinking. We need to evaluate, are we doing enough critical thinking in this few situation, or have the ability to do that. We look at the trend and the technology in the workplace, and we see effective communication and typical barriers as example, as we're going to bring in some situations. And the last, we look at the ethical business communication and how it's supposed to be done. So communicating in the digital world, individual can expect to work in a fast-paced, competitive, and highly connected digital environment. Technology connects individual anywhere, anytime, and that could be a very challenging also. As an advantage, but also a challenge. Business recognize the power of digital media networks, especially in these days. And the electronic media empower the public to participate and be heard. So it is important also to pay attention to these, the electronic media. Communicating in the digital world, it is your path to success because you can have so much information. You can be a very knowledgeable, but if you cannot communicate in that, you might be failing. So strong communication skills are critical to effective job placement, advancement, and organizational success. Are specifically asked for a job in a job advertisement. You will see lots of ads saying good, strong communication skills. Include general communication, interpersonal skills, and teamwork skills, which is we will emphasize a lot on teamwork skills also. It is also or as important as the technical skills for entry-level management position. And we said that, you could have you could be a very knowledgeable person, but since you cannot communicate with others, you might not be successful. So communication is a very important. The communication skills include the general communication skills, interpersonal skills, team skills, which is that's required a good writing skills, because now you have to do your emails, you have to write your SMSs, you have to do WhatsApp. Require individual to be media savvy, first of all, and exercise a good judgment when posting internet message and writing emails. Necessities that individual guard their online image and protect the reputations of their employees, employers also. So how good are you in communication skills? That's a good question. You might want to check this link to see how good you are. Writing matters more than ever because the online media requires more of it, not less. In this class, I will also show you some techniques how to write properly. And probably these techniques, this is one of the skills that the first skills I learned when I was in the university. Now, writing matter more than ever because of the need of, as we said, the use of online media, emails, and so on. So solid writing skills are necessary in the network digital world. But the good thing, there's also application that you can utilize to write these skills, to improve your skills. Most employees write their own messages today. So you have to write your own messages. Employee need a broad range of skills and high level of knowledge in their field also. In the 21st century economy depend on mainly on information and knowledge. And we spoke about the fact that in Canada, we have moved 70% of revenues or the government generating to the service. And service require to hold lots of information and knowledge and communicate also. So knowledge worker get paid for their education and ability to learn. Employers are looking for people with advanced computer skills, and continuous lifelong learning will make more competitive and valuable to employer. Basically, you learning is a life journey because there is no constant information. Change is part of the information, and you have to take that into consideration. So why should you care? Well, you will be expected to generate, process, and exchange information, transmit the information effectively across the communication channels and multiple medias, make sound decision to solve a complex problems. So all these issues is important for you, and you are expected as an employee to do these things. Today, you know that the technology enables the rapid, frequent transmission of message. So please see how you're supposed to do when you write a message and what's the procedure, the best way of doing it. People stay connected through spoken and written messages. The communication tools, the collaboration tools are the most became very advanced very quickly these days. People with the good communication skills are seen as intelligent, educated, and capable. Ability to write well open doors to professional employment. Now, the other part of it that thinking critically in the digital age. First, you need to explore the challenges. When you explore the challenges, then you need to identify the challenges. And once you identify the real challenges, you need to gather information and clarify the problem. I will bring you an example during the class. When you explore the challenges, then you have to generate an idea, and this idea, you implement a solution. To generate an idea, you need to come up with the many ideas, and there is a many ways of generating idea. One of them is a brainstorming or reverse brainstorming or writing. These are ways and tools to generate an idea. Then you need to pick up the most promising ideas between them and implement the solution, which is will be strengthen your solution and a plan how to implement the solution and get the feedback, which is not indicated here. Now, take a look at this and let me know what's your feedback on this. Now, guarding your credibilities. That's an issue that we have a tendency of not paying attention of how we can guard our credibilities. What you have today, it is more than your certification, is your credibilities. People start trusting you, how you create that trust in the people. So to do that, you need to be a proactive and exercise control over your career. Don't expect, as we said, jobs, predictable pay, 9 to 5, 5 to 9 or 9 to 5 jobs. And I gave you some examples of how did I start enjoying jobs that's not 9 to 5 and there is no predictable pays in general. Predictable pay increases lifetime security and overall workplace. So don't expect 9 to 5 job. Predictable pay increases. It is according to your activity, your credibilities, your promotion, your result should be oriented. Expect to work for several employers. An IT person, I always said, IT person is a dog without an owner. So every 4 to 5 years, they change the employer. One of the fast-moving employment. And there's a good examples there in India. We can bring it in this is especially the IT part. Be willing to continually learn new skills and technology and manage and guard your reputation. Because as an employee, it is very important that you manage and guard your reputation and don't lose it. Here's an issue you need to probably look at it is succeeding in a competitive job market. People with the skills, a survey shows that the skills employers want, what do they want in you? So people skills, relationship building, able to build the relationship, harmonize the reading. And this is why I want you to work as a group, because this can create your ability to build a relationship and to harmonize a relation. You should have a good communication skills. You should be able to do a problem solving, analytical abilities, leadership skills, industry specific knowledge and expectation. Funny, it's not as important as a people skills. Technological literacy and the project management skills and creative thinking and others. So there is first priorities, where we have the second priorities and the third priority set up and looking how the total response we got from that. Take a look at it, set up your skills, see where's your weakness and how you can cover some of these points. The bar graph, which as we showed you, is attribute to the employee want to an entry level hiring. Now, you know, there is a new communication technology always comes in. Today, just for collaboration and communication, there's so many tools in a market. One we use, I don't know, the Zoom, the 5, 6 of them, Join to Meet, Click to Meet, Skype. All these are tools for communication and collaboration. So expectation of around the clock availabilities also. They want you to work 24 hours or be available. One of the things that I learned from the IT that we have to be available. And because we're flying from one zone, especially if you're working in a different zones, so we were available, always working. Then you have the global competition, no borders now with these tools of communication, flattened management hierarchies, and that's affecting your communication with the decision maker, and team-based projects, and diverse workforce, and the workforce, how it works, hierarchy, matrix ways. There's so many ways of workforce, how they communicate. And then you have what you call the mobile or virtual office, add to the complex level in the work environment. Just to bring you in your mind, in 2016, WhatsApp had 1 billion users. Now, I think passed over 6 billion or 8 billion users. Facebook had an average of 1.13 billion daily active users. Twitter's had 330 million active users, and 59% or 60% Canadians visited Facebook each day, including me. 30% visited LinkedIn and Twitter's, including me. So the social media and changing communication technology, we notice that anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365 days availability. There is a global marketplace. There is a heavy competition. There is a shrinking management layers. There is a collaborative environment and teaming. There is a growing workforce that diverse virtual and non-territorial offices, and we will explain each one of them on a detailed base. So what's the communication process? Communication process starts, the sender has an idea. You have an idea, so you send it, encoded the message, write it as an email, write it as an SMS, or speaking, or making a phone call. Sender select the channel, and these are the channels: messages, SMSs, or emails. So you use the selected channels, and we will talk which channels you would be using for which subject. Receiver decode the message, feedback returns to the sender. Feedback is very important to make sure that they received your your message properly. So these are the process from sending an idea, senders has an idea, to a feedback return. Now, there is a bypassing. What do you call people miss each other with their meanings? When you're sending an email, I spoke about it and we'll talk to you and we will repeat it every class, that how you're supposed to send an email, how you're supposed to send an SMS, how you're supposed to utilize a WhatsApp, all these collaboration tools, social networking, each one has its own strategies. Defining the frames or reference formed by the combination of experience, education, culture, expectation, and personality. The lack of language skills, oral and written. you should be strong in these both together, hands to hand. The distractions, you need to make sure that there is no distraction, because distraction, physical distraction and emotional distraction interferes with your communication. You need to consider questions like, how is the individual likely to react to my message? And this is why I explained to you the process for sending an email or SMS or regular meeting. Arranging the ideas logically and use the precise word. Try to shorten your message and use a precise word. Ask, do you have any question? And then rephrase it if it's necessary. Provide access to a written message, include a phone number to get back to you or to whomever is in charge. Listen and provide further feedbacks that describe the rather than evaluate. So when we're doing a a group project, we have to consider all these process. Otherwise, your project will fail. So the function of a business communication: to inform, to persuade, to promote a goodwill. These are the three things that when you do business communication, is to inform, to persuade, or to promote a goodwill and willingness. Now, the two basic forms of the communication, as we said, it is oral and written. Internal communication include exchanging ideas and messages with the superiors, your managers, with the co-workers, and with the subordinate, probably by using email, for example. External communication include communicating with the customers, suppliers, government, and the public, often by using email these days. Now, what's an oral and what's a written? Oral. Oral will give the opportunity to ask question immediately for the clarification, because you get your feedback while you're talking. You can see if he understands or he doesn't understand what you're telling. Enable communicators to see facial expressions and hear voice inflection. Is an efficient method of develop consensus when many people are involved and promote friendship. But also you need to take into consideration what makes it more complicated is the culture behind it and the reflection. So we can bring in examples of Turkey, how to say no or yes versus India versus the Arabs versus the US. They all have a way of approving and disapproving, or other thing with the face gestures, hand gestures. In the written, it's a provide a permanent record, enables communication to develop and organize. So there is no he said, she said. Well-considered message is a convenient and can be composed and read when the schedule of both communicators permit. Can be reviewed, and what we say here, you can save it or read it later on more often. Now the disadvantage. In the oral, the procedure with no written record, she said, he said, usually. Sometimes waste of times and maybe inconvenient, require work interruptions. Now, in the case of written, require a careful preparation. Can become a dangerous if you made it public smoking guns because you're writing things in a court and hold against you. And, so you need to be careful when you're drafting an email or writing something. Now back to the media richness and social presence. The more helpful cues and immediate feedback the media provide, the richer it is. You need to look at the media that you're utilizing. If you know the limitation, then you can utilize and maximize those ability to deliver. Uh, Face-to-face communication and telephone calls are, best to deal with the complex problem. Um, but written communication has a lower richness for the routine, unambiguous issues because these days we use icons to add more reactions to the email. I kind of like to use these icons because represent what I mean if I'm being kind or I'm being assertive or being angry. Is it clear for the for the other side to understand what I meant here? The degree to which people are eager, engaged online, and ready to connect with others is called social presence. So you need to look at your social presence and how you are really, and how far you're ready to communicate with others. Communication effectiveness. As we said in the beginning, the communication process is a sender has an idea, sender encode the message, sender select the channels and the transmission the message, receiver decode the message, and feedback return to the sender. And these are issues that you need how to communicate effectively. Like sender should be, for example, clarify the idea, decide on the purpose. These are some examples. Sender should uh, choose the concrete words. Sender should choose the channel. These are the points that you need to make sure you understand them and you practice them when you're communicating with others. Please take a look at them. So we said the information flow of organization, the formal channel is with your supervisors or managers, with your coworker and subordinate, which is a downflow, upflow, and cross subordinate or supervisees. Now, downward information flow. Company create a smaller operating unit and work team, so they communicate downward. Management speak directly to the employees now because it's getting more flatter, so the management more getting involved. Company use company publication, announcement meeting. There is an EDI, there is, library application management system where you can dig in on the information. But there is downward, which is you can get, information from your managers. Companies use the company publications, announcement, meetings, video, podcasts, and other channels to let the workers know how well the company is doing and what new projects are planned. Now, the formal channels, which is could be the upward to your supervisor done, and improving the upward information flow. um, you need to hire a communication coach to train the employees, ask the employees to report customers' complaints, encourage the regular staff meeting, provide a non-threatening environment where the employees can share observation and idea. And we'll explain, we'll bring an example of each one of them. Offer incentive program to encourage valuable feedback. In the horizontal, where you share the information to coordinate tasks, solve problem, resolve conflict, and build teams. The flow among the workers in the horizontal in the same level. Now, in the horizontal flow information, you need or they're supposed to be train employees in a teamwork and communication technique, how it's done. When you're working as a group now in an assignment, you need to develop that, how you communicate with your team and how you communicate with me to deliver the group assignment. Establish a reward system based on achievement rather than on individual achievement. A group achievement, a team achievement is more important than individual achievement. Encourage a full participation in the functions and function through the social relationship, carriers unofficial messages, and flow oppositely also. Can be remarkably accurate. Is mostly disliked by management, thrives where official information is limited, and travel much more rapidly online. Gossip. Use the grapevine productively. Respect employee desire to know. Increase the amount of the information delivered through formal channels. Share bad and good news. Monitor the grapevine using the social and the digital media. Information is something that when you share it, you don't lose part of it. It's not like water or food or anything. So sharing information you will not lose by sharing the information. Act promptly to correct the misinformation, definitely when somebody misunderstands it. So how we respond to gossip ethically. Run, don't walk away from anyone who start to gossip. So don't listen to them, walk away, turn them off. End rumors about others, attack rumors about yourself, keep confidence, limit the amount of personal information you share, avoid any form of coworkers, belittlement, build up coworkers, don't tear them down. These are guidance of how to really respond ethically to a gossip. Ethics is a course that you need to take. Ethics in the workplace are needed more than ever. I always know that even cats knows what's ethic, and I will bring you example how the animal gets to know their ethic. But when it comes to the humans, sometimes ethics is become so complicated, and it's not a clear how you find the right from the wrong. But one of the things that I always do, I try to understand what's the right and the wrong, and accordingly, you will know who is the right person. What is ethical behavior? Conventional and perspective, what people should do. Now, as we said, there is some ethical behaviors different from one culture to another cultures also. But there is lots of common ethical issues between different cross cultures. Define ethics is a conventional standard of right and wrong. What's right, what's wrong. prescribe what people should do, consist of right, obligation, and benefit of societies, is about having a value and taking responsibility. I think the best example I can bring it is when I had to fly to Dubai and had some colleges who decided to drink some, spiritual drinks in the morning. Uh, Details I can explain to you. Is about having a values and taking responsibility. It's about being expected to follow the law, the company's law, the country's laws also. Doing what ethical communicators do is abide by the law, tell the truth, label opinions, be objective, communicate clearly, use inclusive language, give a credit to others also. Choosing the tool for doing the right thing is the action you are considering legal. What the legal that you are considering and how you do the right tools to do that. Would you do if you were on the opposite side? You need to look at that. Can you rule out a better alternative? And what a trusted advisor agrees. We will bring some dilemmas to get you involved in thinking how we're supposed to approach that. Would a family, friend, or coworker approve it? This is how you look at things. Now, what we have learned today is, first of all, we explain how the communication skills fuel careers, success, and understand why writing skills are vital in the digital, mobile, and social media driven workplace. We identify the skills for success in the hyper, hyper connected 21st century workplace and competitive job market. We describe the significant trend and technology in today's dynamic environment. Understand the nature of communication and its barriers must for you. Examine critically the flow of communication in the organization, and we spoke about upward, downward, and horizontal, and the importance of the effective media choices, and understand how to overcome typical barriers to the organization communication. Analyze the ethics in the workplace, understand the goals of ethical business communicators, and choose the tools for doing the right thing. And this is in the chapter. Thank you.